Well, happy Sunday evening, everybody. This is Forrest out in St. Louis. Let me turn this light on. See, yeah, it's a little too glary there. This is Forrest out in St. Louis. Thanks for stopping by. As you can see in the title there, how to build an audience on Facebook to get more leads, even if you're a beginner. I know a lot of the gurus out there that you've heard or you've seen always talk about how to build an audience and building relationships and things like that are an important way to attract people. Hey, Travis, thanks for swinging by. Hey, Colton, thanks for swinging by. If this is the first time catching me on live, just comment below what part of the country you're dropping in from. If you've been here before, thanks again for swinging by. Again, as the title says, how to build an audience on Facebook to get more leads, even if you're a beginner. And one of the things that on Facebook in terms of, and I guess there's so much, there's a lot of stuff. There's people out there teach different methods and things, and one of the things that I like to do on Facebook, as you guys saw yesterday, we celebrated my wife's 50th birthday, which is actually this coming Wednesday, but she's the big 50, and we had a real cool birthday celebration last night. That was a lot of fun, and you guys can go in and see all the comments on there and how many people wished her happy birthday and all the pictures and everything. And, that's pretty much a no-brainer, I guess, when it comes to building an audience on Facebook. People are naturally attracted to normal things. But what if you're a marketer? What if your purpose of being on Facebook, your mission of being on Facebook is to generate leads, or on social media or Instagram or whatever? So do you go out and you post your product all over Facebook and say, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, it's the best stuff in the world? Or do you go about a way of providing value to people that are going to reach out to you? So what I learned today, and I guess I relearned this using some pretty bad horrific grammar there. What I learned, there's two ways to sort of build an audience or create leads or generate leads. One is, and a lot of people say, why would you do a Facebook Live every week? And I'm going to come to that. So have you ever wondered, and here's my question for you guys that are catching this either live or on replay, have you ever wondered how people can go out and do a Facebook Live and it seems like everybody in the world comments on them? It's like, why are all these people commenting? What's going on? What's so important about this person? Well, I learned this recently going through Rank Makers, and I really enjoy that. If you're in network marketing or direct sales, or heck, even if you just have a regular sales job, I would recommend jumping on board the Rank Makers bandwagon. And I'm going to throw in a disclaimer. I don't get paid for referring people to this at all. I get zero. It's just a really cool marketing club that I recommend just about anybody that's selling anything, growing a business, any of that kind of stuff, jump into, because the tips that Ray provides are just absolutely priceless. So back to what I was saying. So there's quite a few ways to do that. So how do you build an audience on Facebook to get more leads, even if you're a beginner? So in the beginning thing, you're going to have somebody. You're probably your leader in your organization. Excuse me for a minute here. I feel like my eyes about to fry off there. Got crazy hair going on. I washed my hair with this new shampoo, and it feels so soft. It's just like, it is just crazy. It's like my hair is normally soft, but it's just, and I usually put a really cool, I just use lotion in it. It's just like really nice lotion that makes it even more softerific. But I just started using a shampoo the day before yesterday, and it's just so nice. Anyway, squirrel. So I went down, I was just looking at my hair, it's all crazy. I haven't combed it or anything. I just washed it and just sort of let it dry out and run my hands through it. Yeah, it's nice and soft, pretty cool for a 56-year-old, right? Just nice hair. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So in the beginning, you're a beginning marketer, and you're like, how do I get leads? And the person that either brought you in to introduce you to the company, or somebody maybe is saying, well, just go out and tell all your friends and family about it, invite them to a Zoom or whatever. Maybe they give you some word tracks on what to say to invite them to a Zoom. So you get through your 20, 30 friends or whatever you got. You don't have any influence at all. In other words, in network marketing, you haven't been working on it for 6 or 7 years, where a heavy-duty network marketer might have thousands of friends that, if they start a new network marketing company, they can go out and say, hey guys, you got to check out the new one, and they'll just boo, and their business just explodes like they have some kind of magic pill. And what that you fail to realize as a beginner is they're not a beginner. They've been working the business for 6, 7 years, sometimes 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years or longer. So their influence, not just in the business world, but also online and social media, is a lot stronger than yours if you've never done business before. But what I did learn is very important is don't spam your products on Facebook because nobody cares. And I hate to say this, is not taking a dig at you CBD oil people, but people don't care about your CBD oil. They care about the results. So, and this is sort of a tip that I'm throwing in here. If you're promoting a product or service, and I learned this, is promote the results that they're going to give somebody. You know, it's like I was just talking about the shampoo I use. It's just making my hair feel really good. So I could get the bottle of shampoo and go, oh, you should try this shampoo because it's got blah, 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 and hobo. I don't even know what's in it. It's got a bunch of stuff in it, and you should buy it, right? Or I can say, man, my hair feels really soft. It's really cool. It feels really nice. And somebody probably send me a private message like, so what kind of shampoo is that? Or they may comment like, what? I'd like to learn about the shampoo. I don't know. I'm not showing shampoo here, but I'm just saying it's just a product analogy. If I was selling shampoo, now I can actually buy shampoo through my online shopping site that I buy it through, which is really cool. And I get paid for referring people there, so that was a commercial. But the point that I was making is if you're generating leads and you're brand new, is how do you build this audience on Facebook to get more leads? So one thing that I learned, and I really like this, and I learned this goes way back to my marketing days when I was doing marketing on Twitter, and I would go out and I create a vertical Twitter pipe. And basically that Twitter pipe, it only talked about one subject, and that's the only thing that was there. For example, I created one for the St. Louis Cardinals, and it was everything about baseball and the Cardinals. And I started it, and I jammed it, and I got some good headlines, and I built it, and it took off running, and it was just self-generating. It just grew to, I don't know, it's got like 12,000 people following it now on Twitter. And here's what the funny thing about it is, I built that 7, 8 years ago, and I've never touched it. It just went on autopilot, and which is very cool. Now, I'm not saying that to sell Twitter. I'm not selling Twitter marketing. I'm just saying it's vertical. So the thing that I learned recently in Rank Makers, which was really cool in the 14-day challenge, was to go vertical. If you get, and this is, I'm going a little bit advanced on you beginners, but find something that's on Facebook. So the first tip is to get on Facebook and do a live. And just talk about whatever you want to talk about. Talk about birthday parties. Talk about weddings. Talk about your day. Talk about how you feel about something. Talk about marriages. Talk about a bad relationship that you might have been in and the steps and the things that you overcame to do that. And then maybe refer somebody to a book that says, hey, if you'd like to get the 10 tips on how to get out of a bad relationship, send me a private message. I did one the other day that talked about how to make your, I think the topic was how to make your marriage divorce proof or something like that. And it was a really cool article that I found in a magazine, and I offered to share those tips with somebody. So in the goal in that Facebook Live was to create and develop relationships with people, but the ultimate goal was to have conversations with people. So George Middleton might be on here, or Kevin Donahue or somebody, and we're talking, and I might offer, say, hey, you know, if you guys would like 10 cool tips on how to get more leads, marketing on Facebook, shoot me a private message at the end. So George might go, oh, that's pretty cool, and George would send me a private message and say, hey man, I like your tips on how to generate more leads on Facebook. And I'd say, hey, great, you know, George, what are you doing right now? You know, I'll get those to you here a minute when I get back to my computer or whatever it might be. But George, what are you doing right now to generate leads on Facebook? Because I want to have a normal conversation with the guy. Just like if I was talking to him at Starbucks, right? I meet him at Starbucks. Hey, George, how's it going? Nice to, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm in insurance. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm in marketing. Da-da-da. What do you do? Yeah, I help people generate more leads for their business. And George might go, oh, that's pretty interesting. How do you do that? And I go, hey, that sounds great, George. I'll tell you what, as soon as I get back to my office, I'll get you some more information on generating leads that I work specifically, some information specifically for insurance agents. And George is great. And I say, hey, George, by the way, what are you doing right now to generate leads? You might say, I'm doing postcards and mailers or sending out mail or doing whatever, or I got a telemarketing company. He's going to tell me something. And I'm going to say, great, and I'm going to put that in my little Rolodex of deals. And I might say, hey, George, hey, let me ask you a question. You know, you're married, you have kids, and I'm just making some mental notes. And I'm putting it in my contact mapping app on my phone so that the next time I talk to George, you know what's going on. I'm going to have his whole life story. I'm going to ask him as many questions as I can about what George is doing. Now, that's in a normal off-site conversation that I'm going to have with somebody. So if you think about it, you take that same conversation into Facebook. Now watch this. I'm going to have a similar conversation with George. We're having a conversation. Hey, by the way, you married, you have kids. I see on your profile you do like hiking, biking, and whatever. Yeah, I'm into bicycling. Do you ride professionally, or what kind of bike you have? And he might say, oh, I have a Specialized. I say, cool. I'm saving up my pennies to get a Cervelo. And we have that conversation, right? So we have a normal conversation because everybody talks about rapport building. Now, I don't have to have a long time because he's already asked for the 10 tips, right? So I go through the conversation and I put that in my contact mapping app to save that for later, because I want to make sure that when I come back and talk to George or send him a private message, because maybe George says, I got 3 kids in college, or I'm getting ready to go on a bicycle, or I'm going to buy a new bike, I can send him a message, hey, George, when are you thinking about getting that bike? So what does this have to do with building an audience to get more leads, even if you're a beginner? The overall point that I'm trying to make here is that you have to be a normal person. Don't be a robot. And that was one of the things that in Rank Makers that Ray talked about. It's weird. We get in network marketing or multi-level marketing, we forget how to have normal, everyday conversations with people. And it's funny. Hey, Wes, thanks for swinging by, man. We got a webinar here going to happen in about 13 minutes. I'm excited to be on our regular Sunday night webinar for our business. Is really cool. Thanks for swinging by, Wes. I really appreciate it. But if you're looking for a way to generate leads, and it sounds crazy because I know you're jumping on going, so what are the tips? One is just talk about life and be in general. And there's a systematic way to go through and, of course, do a right Facebook Live. There's what you call a Facebook formula, and I'm going to share that with you guys. So I'm going to sort of wrap up with this, and I know I said a lot, but my main major tip is be normal when you're doing a Facebook Live to help you generate audience. And I know I threw in a lot of little nuggets in there about how to do that. So if you're new, if you're a beginner, or maybe if you've been doing Facebook and you just keep posting stuff, and you're posting your product, and you're posting your business opportunity, you're posting your product, and you're posting your business opportunity, or you see one of those crazy posts in a network marketing group that says, list your business if you want to get more leads, which all they're doing in those network marketing groups is getting you to raise your hand and go, I'm a real human being, here's all my information. They're going to grab you and put you in their lead bucket so they can market to you later. That's all that is. And most of them are robots. They're not real people doing that stuff. And I wouldn't recommend it. Anyway, if you're going to go into a group and add some value. That's a whole nother training inside the group. So coming back to say this, if you're a beginner and you would like the steps, the proper steps, the correct steps, is that a good word? Or you like to learn some really cool ways to generate leads on Facebook, the right way to do a Facebook Live, the right way to do a presentation. If you've been struggling saying, hey, nobody's contacting me, it's not something that's going to happen overnight. You're not going to do one Facebook Live. You're not going to get 20 billion. You might, I don't know, maybe you're better looking than me or happier than me or have a more coolerific story than I do. But if you just like the basic Facebook Live formula, the steps that you do from an opening, question, a headline, a question, a content, and a close, and a call to action, and the stuff that sort of goes in between those, if you'd like that actual Facebook formula mapped out for you, shoot me a private message, and I'll make sure and get that to you. Absolutely wonderful. Thanks for swinging by, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully provided some value with you guys. Have fun. I challenge you, if you haven't done a Facebook Live before, get on and do one. And talk about what your product has done for you or somebody you know, but don't mention the product. Just talk about what it does. My product made my glasses shinier, made my lips poke out more, it made my forehead less shiny, it made my hair feel softer, or whatever that is. Get on Facebook and do a Facebook Live that way, and then maybe close that out. And here's a closing tip for you as a call to action. Don't tell them, hey, contact me if you want to buy my product. Say, hey, if you'd like 10 tips on how to make your hair shinier, if you'd like 10 tips on how to make your lips pooch out more, or your skin less shiny, your forehead less shiny, or whatever it is that you want to create a call to action like that, then send them the tips and create a relationship with them. So this is Forrest out in St. Louis, and if you want to deep dive into that, shoot me a private message, and I'll send you the exact Facebook formula blueprint that I use to do a Facebook Live. This is Forrest out in St. Louis. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, you guys.